Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on WakeUpCallDT.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT. Proud to be with you inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. You are also watching and listening on Facebook.com, on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT. And of course, after the show is broadcasted, it goes right to our Facebook page at WakeUpCallDT, and it is also going to be available to you by going to YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT. You can see all of our videos on YouTube and a lot of great stuff on YouTube, so make sure that you go to our YouTube channel, YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT. So we appreciate you so much, however you connect with the show, for connecting with us and having an awesome time with us here where sports meets life on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So a big shout out and a big thanks to Alex Dodd for being a part of the broadcast this morning. I do want to make a note here. I think it's only fair. I asked Alex what his biggest surprise was in a good way and biggest surprise in a not so good way in the ACC in these first couple games. My biggest surprise in a positive way is Miami. Now, Manny Diaz, I know a lot of people are excited about him coming in last season. I know that Miami has done some good things under Mark Richt in recent history. Right before Manny Diaz, who brought on Manny Diaz, was the head coach, and Manny Diaz was one of the assistants on the team. So, I think it was good to see Miami do some good things. I remember growing up in the Big East as a kid, and Syracuse, when they played Miami, Miami was a real game, more often than not. It was a genuine. What I mean by that is, you were playing. If you beat Miami, you beat somebody that could be playing in the BCS, national championship. You could be beating a number one ranked team, a team that's ranked in the top 10 and whatnot. So, to see Miami doing what they're doing right now, I think there's a lot of good. I think they're very dangerous to go up against. I think Syracuse is a little blessing in disguise that they don't have to play Miami this season, statistically. And I want to make a note here when we talk about the American Athletic Conference, because, I cover all of college football I spent a lot of time kind of boots on the ground with the American Athletic and the ACC, and De'Aaron King came from Houston. So I've been around De'Aaron King, and I've talked about De'Aaron King, and I've been around his program. So to see what he's doing right now, it's funny how, people talk about this guy being on the map when I know about him, and I've known about him for the past few years. 67% completion percentage, 736 yards through 3 games. Could get to 1,000 yards by 4 games, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. He has also ran the ball for a touchdown, averaging 5.6 yards per carry and 157 yards on 28 attempts. Cameron Harris, 311 yards so far on 38 attempts for Miami. 8.2 yards a carry and 5 touchdowns is absolutely insane. Brevin Jordan, the tight end, is leading the team with 15 catches, 212 yards receiving, and 3 touchdowns. So Miami's got some great stuff going on. So I would say my biggest surprise in a positive way has got to be the Miami Hurricanes, because not that I expected them to be bad, but I didn't expect them to be doing what they're doing and look this strong, look this kind of overwhelming in the first few games of the season. So I would say my biggest surprise in a positive way is Miami, and I would say my biggest surprise in a not so great way would be Florida State. I didn't expect them to be this bad by any stretch of the imagination. I didn't expect them to look like they haven't grown at all, to look like they haven't figured it out. They can't stop anybody. So offensively, when your starting quarterback is James Blackman, and these last few seasons it's been, we're going to go to James, and I don't understand why. You know what I mean? It's like people ask, well, why Tommy DeVito when this and this happens at Syracuse, and Tommy has some good moments and has some struggling moments. James Blackman, he's built like a wide receiver. You know what I mean? Very skinny frame and whatnot. And when I see him on the field, I see him as a wide receiver, but he's their quarterback, and the offense has not moved. They've not gotten anything done. The defense looks atrocious right now. I am shocked at what Florida State has put on the field, so I have to say Florida State. With that being said, we're going to take a quick fast break here and come back with Dave Kline, who will be joining us from CNS, the Northstars head football coach. We'll be on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora right after this fast break.
Avicoli's Restaurant, located right at the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road, is proud to be your local neighbor, growing with you for over 20 years. We're open 7 days a week for lunch, dinner, and drinks. For takeout, delivery, or catering, call us at 315-622-5100. When you order online and use our promo code AVS10, you will save 10% on your online purchase at myavicolis.com. And make sure to join us monthly for our live on-site broadcasts centered around Liverpool athletics. Avicoli's, your local, trusted neighbor right at the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road.
Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
Trapper's Pizza Pub, located on 5950 Butternut Drive in East Syracuse. Right off of Bridge Street is your local community supporter right around the corner. Join us on site at Trapper's Pizza Pub for our live monthly broadcast supporting Central New York student athletes and their sports programs. Call 315-438-4444 for more information. And find us on Facebook and Instagram at Trapper's Pizza Pub. Trapper's Pizza Pub, your local community supporter right around the corner.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on WakeUpCallDT.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT. Proud to be here with you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We thank you so much for being a part of the show and hanging out with us inside of the Cafe Kubal studios with the piping hot coffee or tea, whatever you want it to be behind us here. It could be yours today by heading off to Cafe Kubal on 3501 James Street, as well as 401 South Salina Street, inside of Golisano's Children's Hospital, and their newest location on 208 North Townsend Street, as well as the location that we'll be at this Thursday, October 1st. Officially, Wake Up Call is going back on site, on location, finally, for our live shows, and we're going to jump it all off by going to Cafe Kubal on 324 West Water Street, right in downtown Syracuse this Thursday, October 1st, from 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So, same time that you're watching and listening right now, we'll just be on site, on location at Cafe Kubal. So, very excited about that. And the Pumpkin Spice Chai DT Special is available at all locations and for mobile order pickup. So you can ask for the DT Special and get your Pumpkin Spice Chai today. And I get mine with almond milk. Get yours however you'd like. So with that being said, MonPazPopcorn.com is what's popping. Hour number 2, we have Coach Kline with us, Dave Kline of CNS, the Northstars head football coach, is hanging out with us here this morning, and I appreciate his time as always, so let's bring him in. Coach, how are we doing today?
I'm doing well, Dan. How about yourself, buddy?
I'm doing well, and, you know, Coach, I mean, even though we've gone through the stress and the confusion and the wonder and all these things that have happened when it comes with high school football. We've at least been able to see college football go off. We've been able to see the NFL go off. So what can you tell me about some of your thoughts and some of your takeaways that you've had, at least the fact that there's some type of football that's happening right now?
At least there's something to watch on TV. As we were talking about a few minutes ago, I got to do something to take a break from the news. We always need that distraction, and, that's one thing that the athletics has always provided us, especially for me, football, is that nice distraction just to, get away from reality for a little bit and watch something that's just purely, for me, pleasurable to watch.
So what have you done to, right now you should be coaching, you should be on the field, you should be playing right now in your season, doing your thing and whatnot. So what have you done to distract yourself and keep yourself sane at this point?
I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know if I'm really sane. If you ask people around me, like my wife, they'll start to say, I don't know about that. I just try to find stuff to do after school. I don't. Sometimes I sit there and twiddle my thumbs, like what the heck. Do stuff around the house. Try to stay in contact with the kids as much as I can. And try to do things with what we can do. Trying to put some stuff together for the future, hopefully. As we move forward through this fall, to be able to get together with the kids a little bit, have some fun with them, and appreciate the time out on the field with them for at least a little bit. I don't know, just trying to find stuff to occupy my mind and my time.
So for you, I think the last time we talked, your wife had you painting like every room in the house. So what's on the honey-do list lately?
Actually, I think I've avoided all the big things. I think that's kind of done until she sees something else. But right now, I think most of the big projects are done. So now it's just, just getting home and, if the yard needs to be raked, rake the yard in the afternoon. I said to the other day we were talking, I go, this is going to be the first time, and I can't tell you how long that I'm actually going to rake my own leaves up and put them out front. I've been paying people to do it for me. I didn't know what to do. I was confused. I'm like, this is going to be weird.
Well, I cut down some stuff on one of my trees, and I got some brush and whatnot. So if you want to come do that here, if you want to mow my lawn today, I'll give you something to do, Coach. You and I can hang out. I'll give you something to drink, and, you could do some yard work. I accept that totally.
Wait, you're still cutting your lawn? My lawn hasn't grown in weeks.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, my lawn was, not growing, and then it decided to grow, and I was like, okay, I'll cut the front, one more time. I'll cut the back, and I'll see what happens. And I didn't cut the back that day, so the back is kind of just been, it hasn't grown like crazy, but it's grown to the point where I'm like, all right, I got to go out there and do it. I don't want there to be mosquitoes, but I can tell you, I don't mind doing the lawn because it helps me get my steps in. But, it's one of those things where, and I don't know, I think we talked about this. Today is day 155 straight of me doing at least 10,000 steps a day, Coach. My body has changed. My mind has changed, both positively. Not that they were negative before or anything like that, but healthy mind, healthy body has definitely happened. And I'm over 5 months straight of doing this cardio stuff. So I just want to let you know, if they let you field a team and they can put anybody on the field that can play in some type of rec league to give you something to do, I might try out for you this year.
Oh, you got a little eligibility left for me or what?
I think I got some. Listen, I play basketball, so I think my football is wide open. So,
all right.
And I've been doing back pedals. I can play DB for you. I can do what I got to do. So I do want to. I want to get to the fact that JJ Razmovsky, as well as Mike Washington Jr. that we talked about before, and you have an incredible team, Max White and whatnot. You have an incredible team of players. These guys have gotten offers. These guys have gotten opportunities. We know where Mike is going, but we know that that JJ and Max and whatnot. It's this open door of things that could happen and could come. What are you doing to try and help the guys out whose season this is supposed to be their last season? What are you doing to help them to kind of make sure that schools know about the talent that's out there?
Well, I kind of created a database, and I email a lot of the coaches through my database that I have. I send them my information, contact information. Then I also, with all the kids, there's huddle links so they can view their highlight films or any game film on Huddle that the college coaches can. Then I reach out to the coaches. I push them. I tell them, you're not going to get a chance, unfortunately, to see these guys play this fall. Hopefully we get it in the spring. But, I'll vouch for these kids because they're great kids, great athletes, great competitors. And I have no problem vouching for any of them. So hopefully, with some cases that helps, that works, they look at the film from last year and they see some things. So we're just going to keep pushing the envelope and keep contacting people. And, we got to take care of all the guys and get them, if they want to play college football, get them someplace to go to school and play college ball.
So how do you think the response has been so far with creating this database and obviously having them on Huddle and whatnot and doing your due diligence as a coach to say, hey, I vouch for these guys, they're good guys on and off the field, this is what they do and this and that. How do you feel, it's the response has been to this?
I mean, it's getting there. Coaches are looking at the film. Then they're getting back to me on their evaluations on what they think. Obviously we saw last week Lake Erie, a Division II school, offered Max White, so that was nice. So we're going to keep pushing that. Once again, it's like anything else. When you get some school that comes in, maybe we can pick up another school and keep things rolling. With that, then also as they're watching Max's film, I talk about. Here's JJ. Take a look at him. I know everybody complains, says he's 5'10", but you know what? Kid plays the game, and he can throw the ball, and he can play the game, and he has it. I talk about some of the receivers and, the other linemen, like Drew Alvarez, another kid that's been playing for us for years. I'm like, this kid might be 6 foot tall, but let me tell you what. He's one mean, nasty son of a gun when he gets out there on the field, and he's a 4.0 student, not in the classroom, so can't lose with him.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Coach, and I think, and I commend you more than anything that, that you're taking it upon yourself that, this isn't your recruitment, this is their recruitment, but you're a part of it, you're jumping into it. I mean, I know these kids have been telling me, some of them have been editing their own stuff, putting their stuff out there, making sure they do what they can and whatnot, and, for you to be a part of this, to be a part of what they're doing, what their family's doing, and say, I want to vouch for them. I want to be there. I want to be a part of, kind of being that rally cry and making sure that there's a spotlight on Central New York. I want to commend you for that because I think it's incredible. And I know that years from now, these kids are going to thank you that they had a coach that cared as much as you did in the middle of a crazy storm of Corona and weather and social justice and this, that, and whatever. I mean, everything that's going on in life, you would have every excuse in the book to say no. And then there's some people that just don't do it because it doesn't suit them. And some people are very me-oriented. And you just, in the middle of everything, you've made the decision to help these kids out. And I know that they're going to thank you for it someday.
Well, I mean, I appreciate that, Dan. But, I mean, I've always looked at my job, winning and losing at the high school level, that's great. Winning's good. I love the win. Trust me, I'm an ultra competitive person when it comes to that. But my ultimate job is to help make these guys become young men, and going to college is what they want, or getting a job is what they want, or wherever, joining the military. That's my job, is to support them, to help them become good young men, to become good citizens. That's the ultimate goal. Winning and losing's great, and obviously winning, I absolutely love it, but that's ultimately what it's about.
And for you, I mean, to have this and to have these kids be an extension of your family and whatnot, what has it done for your life? How has it lightened up your life, brightened up your day, and especially with everything going on in the world today, how does being an extension of their family, what does that do for you?
Well, it's awesome when you get some good news, like you got on Max last week. It just puts a big smile on your face, thinking, here's a kid I've been with for a long time, and he's getting opportunities to to accomplish his dreams. Going to school, playing football. I mean, that's awesome. Whenever I say it all the time, whenever we get on the field and we do things with the kids, especially during this time period, I look back and say how I took it for granted for so long, for so many years, and now you look at it and it's like, wow, this is amazing, and you really appreciate those times, those minutes, those hours on the field that you spend with them, because it's really a great time. It's really something you got to cherish.
Yeah, and it's an incredible thing to appreciate the time. I mean, I think hopefully if we've learned anything Coach, it's that we appreciate the time that we have now. We appreciate the people that we spend it with. And what are you doing to kind of, I mean, once you get into the swing of things and you get back into this and things start to maybe look a little bit like normal or feel a little bit like normal, what are you doing to keep yourself focused on what you learned during Corona to not lose that, to not lose an appreciation of some me time for you, or time to reflect on things, or things that you've done in the last few months that have helped to enlighten you or help you be healthier? How do you hold on to that stuff that when we get back to the hustle and bustle, which we all eventually will, how do you make sure that you don't lose all that stuff that made you a better version of yourself?
Well, one of the things that I actually started to do, and then I'll continue to do, is, I get to about 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, or actually at dinner time, and I just put my phone down, put it on silent, and don't pay attention to the phone. Take time, my wife and I to talk, to spend some time together, spend that quality time together. So that's one thing I'll end up continuing to do, is just, taking the phone, taking any social media stuff, and just kind of tucking it away for a while, and forget about it and spend time, around people that you care about, and be able to spend time with them and relax. I still get up. I like to go out and run in the morning. That's my big time. I get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock and go running. That's one thing that I'll continue to do, because I just enjoy that and just spend time outside.
That coming from Dave Kline, CNS Northstars head football coach. We had a message come in from Jason Dudzinski that said, Coach Kline. Yeah, he said, Coach, what'd you say?
Jay Duds. I know Jason.
Yeah, so he said, Coach Kline is the best coach, teacher, role model. I was lucky to coach for him for a few years. Learned a lot about coaching and life from him. Can't wait to see him and his staff and boys on the fields in caps. So, what are your thoughts on Duds?
Jason's a great guy. I knew Jason when he coached me for a little bit when he was at Henniger. He used to work at Henniger. He coached basketball at Henniger for years. He did some football coaching with me. Jason could be an exceptional coach. I mean, he is an exceptional coach. The kids, he's also the head coach at FM for a few years there. Just a great guy, great family man, great family. His son's a heck of a basketball player. I think he went away to a prep school this year because of a fear of not having the season, but he was over at West Jenny as a heck of a player.
Yeah, Adam Duds, and Duds and I are very close. So, to have that, to have the positivity, to have the love come your way. Is there a hobby, or is there anything that you picked up that you're holding on to right now? Is there something within all of this? I know your wife would say that your hobbies are cleaning the house, cooking, painting, but do you have a hobby that you picked up that or something that you've added to your life that's now going to be part of the Dave Kline ritual, or whatever it may be?
Unfortunately, probably not. I think about it, there was some things I probably could have done or should have done that I didn't.
Okay.
But no, really, is anything that I've added on? No, unfortunately, still just same old me.
So, but what's gotten you, what's gotten you through all of this, with knowing the frustration, with knowing, you can't control this. Normally as a coach, win, lose, or draw, you're in control of getting your guys ready, getting them on the field. This is a different year. This is a different situation. So what have you done to keep yourself sane in that respect, and to navigate through the fact of, you're a grown person, you're an adult in the world, but you're waiting for someone to take you out of timeout, essentially. So how do you deal with that?
Well, I mean, one of the big things I think why I love the sport of football so much is I think it teaches us so much about life. It teaches us there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. When the down comes, you just got to keep grinding, get through the down. There's nothing that's going to be put in front of you that you can't handle. You got to understand, you can handle it all. You just got to keep persevering, keep driving through, and find a way to work around it, to find the systems, to change, to do whatever you have to do to adapt. But you have to be able to keep grinding and keep working. I think that's one thing that, people understand that football teaches us. You get injuries, you get this, you get that, happen to a kid. You're going to keep, you got to find a way to keep the team grinding, keep them together. I mean, I feel the worst for these young kids. I'm an adult. I can look at it. I can realize it. These kids are someone we're looking at it going, we're getting everything taken away from us. We're losing everything. And these kids can persevere, and these kids are positive when I do group text messages and stuff. And, these kids are saying stuff like, we'll get through this, guys. Like, we've gotten through everything. Nothing can stop us. I see that from these young kids, and that itself is more motivation I could ever ask for.
Well, and that's the beauty of it is, like you said, when you put it out there, seeing that these kids are staying positive and that they're sharing it with each other. What does that say to you? Because, the generation of kids that you're coaching right now, sometimes it's treated like a forgotten generation. Sometimes it's treated like a generation of people that don't care, people that are always on their social media. They're not connected to the world. They get a bad rap for being grouped in as an entire generation of people that are detached, people that don't have emotion, people that don't care for each other, don't take responsibility. What do you see from this generation, and what can you say about the beauty of the generation of kids that you're teaching right now?
Well, I can't speak for all of them. I can just speak to the ones that I directly am involved with. And let me tell you what, for a group of young men, you wouldn't, they're willing to show emotion to each other. They're willing to tell each other how much they care about each other and that their family and to stay together. I can tell these kids aren't a group that are looking at just, on the surface stuff. These guys generally care about each other, generally want to watch out for each other, and they have each other's backs all the time. They're not afraid to tell each other that, which, I don't know, I guess I'm lucky and fortunate enough to be around a good group of guys like this. But I think they're everywhere. I think those group of people exist everywhere. I think it's just, there are some that aren't, but I think there's a lot of good young people out there that want to they're going to do things right. They're going to become successful. They're going to show the world that, they care.
That coming here from CNS head football coach Dave Kline. Dave, how much do you know about what you can do? Like we said off the air, it's treated like off-season conditioning and whatnot. So what are you allowed to do as a coach? What can happen, and what's the new timetable now? How much do you know at this point?
Well, I know I can do some off-season workouts, so we're actually going to start doing a couple of things together as a group, maybe once a week or so. New York State has said that we can do some flag football type of stuff with other schools and stuff. Just got to, make sure you make sure you're following all the CDC protocols in terms of social distancing, limited contact, limited everything, wearing the mask, hand sanitizing, cleaning. So, we're going to follow all those. We're going to try to, get some people together, see if we can have a little fun for these kids and give them a little bit of an experience. We're going to work at it, like I said, throw a couple of things together, but we're going to start by, I'm actually going to meet with the guys tomorrow to go over a couple of things and just try to move forward over the next 5 weeks or so until the snow starts to fly.
And then the hopes of obviously being able to jump onto the field and do your thing. You've been how many years have you been coaching in total?
Oh God, upwards of 30, over 30.
So over 3 decades of coaching. What has this year done to? Has it, like we look at positives that we could take away? Has this year reinvigorated you? Has it made you more hungry? For doing this for over 3 decades and then having it temporarily taken away, what has that done for you as a coach?
I don't know if it's necessarily made me more hungry. It made me realize how much I still enjoy it. I don't know, say hungry is a different word. Maybe it's the right word, but it's more, I realize how much I enjoy being out there, how much I enjoy the coaching aspect, how much I enjoy being with my coaches. That's the other part. I miss now the guys adults that I coach with. We spend this time of year, we spend so many hours together, and you kind of miss being around that and doing those things, the laughing, the joking, the having fun. Obviously the kids, the Friday night excitement, if coach tells you they don't get excited on Friday night and they're playing a game, they're absolutely crazy. They shouldn't be coaching. The butterflies, you realize you miss all that, and it's like, I still enjoy all that. I still makes me think I'm nowhere near ready to give it up yet.
And that is amazing to hear, and I'm sure for CNS, amazing for them to hear that as well. Have you found yourself going out there on a Friday night and standing on the field, closing your eyes and envisioning the sounds and the hits and every piece of the game? Are you trying to kind of live the Friday night light type of thing? I mean, have you brought yourself out to the field and stood under it and closed your eyes and maybe envisioned that at all?
No. I think I'd be too depressed if I did that. So no, I haven't. I just, just relax and just stay home and just relax. I don't want to sit there and if I go out there, I want to get myself, too depressed thinking about it. I had to go out there for something last week one afternoon, and I was looking out at the turf going, darn, we should be practicing right now. Just kind of makes you feel, things like, oh. So I try to avoid that part unless I'm going to be out there with the kids doing something.
I can respect that totally. That coming from Dave Kline once again. Dave, before I let you go, NFL, college football, what are your thoughts through these first few weeks? Have you been watching Syracuse? Who is your NFL team, by the way?
Well, I guess I would put myself as a Bills fan because of New York, but I'm, from back in the day, I'm not a huge NFL guy. I enjoy college football a lot. That's what I truly like. I enjoy watching the college games. So, a lot of times on Sundays, I'll tell my wife, if you want to go do something, Sunday's the afternoon to go do it. And I'm willing to give that up, but not Saturdays. So, and she knows that too, because she'll sit there and watch them with me. So.
Well, that's very nice of your wife to do something like that. I am on the market because the last few girls that I try to watch games with, they walked in the room and said, "Is this going to be on right now?" And I was like, "Man, I can't marry this woman." So, I mean, we know that you can't marry somebody that wants to know how long the game's going to be on for. So I got to ask you then, when you take a look at the grand scheme of things, who are you watching these first few weeks of college football?
I just watch anybody that's on. Any of the good games. I really, I've been impressed with the turnaround Miami's been making a little bit. I was kind of impressed with they've been playing. That new with King playing quarterback. They're fun to watch. I always love to watch Clemson. They're, obviously the way they throw the ball around is such a good team. Anybody in the SEC. Of course, I watched Syracuse the weekend. I was able to stream it from my phone to a TV so I could watch it this past weekend. You always got to check out the cues when you can. So again, it's whatever's on. If what was it? I don't know if there's a game on Friday night or Thursday night, I'll flip that on. The MAC coming back. If they start playing on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, I guess I'll watch some games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So who's ever on is what I look to watch.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I think again, it's about enjoying it and it's about appreciating it and whatnot. What do you think about the fact though that the ACC was like, now we're playing. Then the SEC was like, all right, we're playing. The Big 12 was like, cool, we'll play too. The American jumps on. And the Big 10 was like, nah, I think we're going to hang out, see what happens. Now they're jumping in. And then I jokingly said, not jokingly, said the Pac-12 on the West Coast with everything going on over there and, wildfires and whatnot, they're like, do we have to play? But now they're playing. So, what's your take on this, that it was like, is there going to be college football? Then it's like, okay, some teams are going to play, not every team. Then some conferences, then this conference is going to play, but you don't have to play if you're a team. Then this conference isn't going to play, but you can play. There is like, it was just kind of a giant you-know-what show out there of who's playing, who's not playing. And now, at some point in 2020, we could see almost all of the the majority of the 130 teams on the field. What can you say about this very strange and unique time where they're not gonna, maybe they're gonna, and now most of them are looking like they're gonna?
Well, I think they first wanted to see if it could be done. And I think the way the ACC, the SEC, and different areas, Army and stuff have gone out and shown, that it is possible, and shown that, we're going to do our due diligence, and if there are positive tests or there is anything worry about a team, we're going to cancel that week's game. We got to understand that that's always going to be a possibility. So I think they wanted to see that that was possible, that it could be done without, any serious issues, as we've seen so far. Then I also think the realization, of money comes into play. You know, I think I heard of Michigan State. I thought I read an article of Michigan State AD said that by them coming back and playing football, they might make enough money to cover most of the athletics for the year so they can break even.
Yeah.
You know, and let's face it, I mean, money is part of the equation too. You start talking TV revenues. So if you can do it safely and you can still do the TV revenues, I'm not surprised they came back.
I have to ask you the question, being here in Central New York. Syracuse's defense looked pretty fancy against North Carolina. Their defense looked pretty good against Pittsburgh, but the offense was not there for the first two games. Offense showed up. They finally, oh my Lord, Mr. Kline, Syracuse finally decided to listen to something that I said, I want to say a decade ago, when I said maybe, just maybe, the greatest moments in Syracuse history were when you ran the dang ball. So maybe, just maybe, and you know all about running with Mr. Mike Washington Jr., but maybe, just maybe, you should run the ball and see what happens. And they ran the ball, and they won, and they got 2 early touchdowns, and I sat in the Dome as one of less than 100 people to be in the Dome for this historic moment that will never happen twice, and now I get to say that I was a part of that, and I'm still blown away by it. And I sat there, and when they ran on the first series, and they ran on the second series, and they scored the ball, I sat there, and I thought to myself, this is great for the former running backs of Syracuse to see. This is great for one of my good friends, Rob Drummond, to see, and we talk about it all the time. Then I thought to myself, I was right. Then I thought to myself, I didn't get paid for this opinion. Then I thought to myself, why am I not coaching? And, you know, but in the reality of it all, and all jokes aside, they finally ran the ball, and oh my goodness, they won. So what are your thoughts on Syracuse for the first 3 weeks? And are you like me going, ain't that a concept? If you run the ball, sometimes it works out. And in the case of Syracuse, they finally decided to do it, and Georgia Tech wasn't ready for it.
Well, I'm a defensive guy for the most part. I love, I've always been a defensive guy in terms of my coaching a lot. When I coached positions and was coordinator, I love the defense. I love the fact that they're flying around. They're just coming from all angles with the 3-3-5, and they're just coming from everywhere. I think that's exciting stuff. I love the way that they're just playing with speed and passion. You know, offensively, you got to find your way. They're, right now they lost a lot in their O-line. They're, they got to figure out some things there that they can get their O-line back. But let me tell you what, there's some really good coaches up there that do, they've done a lot of great work over the years in a lot of different places, including here. So, you got to trust that they know what they're doing. They're going to put it together.
And are you happy that they're finally running the ball?
I'm happy that they won.
Okay.
Whatever they got to do, I'm a guy that says, whatever you got to do to win, you win. Yeah. That's what I believe in. And, as long as you win, you win, I'm happy with that. So that's how, whatever it takes for them to win, I'm happy with it.
And the three, as a coach, and a defensive-minded coach, what do you think are the best benefits of a 3-3-5? Because, this defense has looked fantastic. There were seasons where it was hard to come by that Syracuse would get 1 or 2 interceptions in an entire season. They have gotten at least 1 interception in every single game they played in of their 3 games this year. They've gotten it from their linebackers. They've gotten it from their D-line. They've gotten it from their secondary. Every single part of the defense has pulled down an interception. They played a quarterback that was averaging 2 interceptions a game in Jeff Sims, and they made him turn the ball. They made him throw 4 picks in the game. So they doubled up on that. So what can you say about, from a coach's perspective and a defensively minded coach's perspective, what do you like about a 3-3-5 and its scheming itself?
Well, the big thing about the 3-3-5 is, I think why they're being so successful is whether you don't know where anybody's coming from. You can throw anybody, you can throw a number of blitz packages together out there and do a million different things, defensively, and you don't know where the pressure is going to come from. I think that's what's had a big impact with the interceptions is, quarterbacks are being put under pressure because, again, it's hard to scheme for you, front blocking. You don't know where they're coming from because they could be coming from anywhere, and they could turn around and peel out of there, too, at the same time. So I think that's what the advantage is, that they've been able to put some pressure on guys.
Coming from Coach Kline, final notes, Coach. Final thoughts for our conversation here today. What are you looking forward to? Are you a fan of the fall? I know you're a fan of football, but what's on the docket right now, and what's kind of on your mind as you step forward here?
Well, trying to get some stuff moving forward with the guys, to get them moving forward, do some fun things with those guys, let them understand, get them positive thoughts, positive energy for the players, and keep things going as much positive direction as we can. That's a big thing. Personally, I don't know, just get out and spend some time outside and doing some things I haven't done in years. Maybe I'll go apple picking or something. Who knows?
Well, like I said, you can come over here at any point this week and help me out with some of the yard work. So that coming from Coach Dave Kline. And Coach, as always, I appreciate and respect your time. I am so grateful for our relationship on and off the field, and I very much appreciate you so very much, and cannot thank you enough for what you do for these kids.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate you too, buddy. I appreciate you always being on here. Thanks. You have a good one.
All right, you too. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Take care. That coming from Dave Kline once again here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, the head coach of the CNS Northstars football team, and getting excited to get the guys together. Talking about a little bit of flag football, talking about a little bit of, being able to do some conditioning things. Something is better than nothing. So I'm happy that we can do something. We'll take a step aside for our final fast break of the show. We'll be back right after this to wrap it up and let you know what's coming up for the rest of the week here where sports meets life on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora.
Cafe Cabal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafecabal.com. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, is home to over 40 flavors with more than 200 flavors in their total wheelhouse. Sky's the limit for this sweet and savory Central New York company. Keep it local at your parties, fundraisers, wedding showers, baby showers, and more by calling 315-450-MA-PA. That's 315-450-6272 for popcorn bars with custom flavors and colors at your upcoming event. Make sure to visit them on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. And for more information, go to maandpazsnacks.com. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you? The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every time. Make sure you find your way to the Millhouse Market, and make sure you download their app on the Apple app or Google Play Store. When you download that app, you'll have the entire menu at your fingertips, every single thing, all of their sandwiches, over 30 different sandwiches named after the families that helped to settle today's Pulaski, which is a beautiful thing and a beautiful way to connect and pay homage to history and to the families that helped to build what we know as Pulaski today. So a big shout out to that, and a shout out to the absolutely amazing concoctions of sandwiches and combinations that you wouldn't even think of, as well as their brick oven pizzas, their homemade breads, their homemade desserts, their homemade dressings, and their salads and their quinoa bowls, and so on and so forth. The Millhouse Market is incredible. Their food is incredible, their service is incredible, and the way that they connect with the community is truly something special. Thank you to the Millhouse Market. They have contactless pay on the app, and you can stay in your car, pick up the food at their drive-up window, grab and go. They have done so much, especially during this very difficult time for us, and I want to thank the Millhouse Market for being amazing, caring so much, and working with us through a very difficult time. You are a great piece of our community, and we appreciate you. With that being said, welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on WakeUpCallDT.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on MixLR.com/The Tickle. the allergies are back. So on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt and on wakeupcalldt.com. I appreciate you being here and hanging out with us where sports truly meets life here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. And, of course, you are inside the Cafe Kubal Studios, Cafe Kubal, bringing so many amazing things to you, including their absolutely incredible opportunity that I got, which is to have my own special drink on premises at all 5 of their locations, as well as available for mobile pickup, and that is the pumpkin spiced chai. I have mine with almond milk. You can have yours however you like it. I will be getting one today because I was thinking about it all weekend, and now I need to. It's a little treat for myself in the morning. So I'm going to go grab myself a Cafe Kubal pumpkin spiced chai with almond milk. It is the DT special, and you can order it at any one of their locations as well as for mobile pickup as well. Go to Cafe Kubal for more information. That's Cafe Kubal, and you can find them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Cafe Kubal. So make sure you get in touch with them there. Inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin' Today, I want to thank Alex Dodd for going around college football as well as the ACC and speaking about Syracuse and Clemson, the team that shocked him in the good way the most in these first few weeks, the team that shocked him in not so good of a way, and I gave mine as well. Alex Dodd saying the team that shocked him in a not so great way is Duke, and what they have done. Boston College shocking him in a positive way. My shock in a positive is Miami. My shock in a not so great is Florida State. Something that rhymes. So there you go. Dr. Seuss moment of the day. With that being stated, I want to thank Dave Kline as well for joining us to give us an update on what we can do with high school football here in Central New York, as well as to tell us what he's been up to and how he's been living his life and how things have been going for a coach that I deeply respect and appreciate. And, of course, representing CNS here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora this morning. We're proud to represent any and all high schools. If you have somebody, if you have a story, you have a coach, player, whatever it may be, and you want to get on Wake Up Call, I have an open door policy of helping out good people. So I want to thank CNS, CBA, as well as ESM, Liverpool, West Jenny, and so on and so forth that have been a part of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in our connection to the community and building up and using that hashtag that I created, and I implore you to use it, hashtag support CNY. However you're supporting this area, hashtag support CNY. Utilize it, have it, love it, know it, cherish it, live it. Because supporting one another is how we're going to get through the good times. It's how we're going to get through the tough times. It's how we're going to navigate whatever comes our way. So make sure that you're loving each other up and supporting each other in the best way possible. With that being stated, I have a fantastic, fantastic opportunity to do some great things in the community this starting this week. And so I want to get this out to you. I'm actually going to put it up on the screen here this morning, so bear with me for a second. But I do want to get it up on the screen so you can check it out. I'm very, very pleased and very thankful that I get to do this. For those of you that are listening in on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt and on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage, I'll talk about it here so you'll be able to get a feel for it. But I want to put this up on the screen here right now so people can see it. Very, very excited about what's coming up. I have not been able to do an on-site, on-location broadcast since March. Now, we did the fantasy football events, and we got to get around people for that. But those were not broadcasted events. Those were, just us having, our get-togethers at the Wildcat Sports Pub and having a fantastic time there. And another piece of what we do, this gives me an opportunity to do something in the realm of live broadcasting on site, on location. And I'm so, so grateful and I'm so thankful for this. Starting October, the first opportunity of October, I took it. So it's like somebody telling you, the first time we can get you in for a haircut is, and you're like, yep, done, got it. So the first time that I could possibly do it on October, which is my birth month, which I'm really, really excited about because it's coming up on Thursday. And October 1st is actually Ross Turetsky's birthday, who's a great friend of mine who I feature on the show and is a fantastic broadcaster and writer and overall sports mind and an even better human being. So I think he's great at his job, which and I think he's better as a person, which shows you, who we're dealing with here when I talk about Ross Turetsky. Very, very excited for this upcoming events. On Thursday, October 1st, I will be doing this show, Wake Up Call's normal broadcast from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I will be doing that at Cafe Kubal at Creek Walk Commons. That's 324 West Water Street. It's in downtown Syracuse. I will be at Cafe Kubal. I will be there with Baldwinsville head football coach Carl Sanfilippo. And so he'll be joining me there. Very, very excited to have Coach Sanfilippo there with me at Cafe Kubal. It's our first event ever at a Cafe Kubal, on-site, on location for a live show. It is me getting out in the community with Coach Sanfilippo for the first time in a while. And I'm really, really excited. And it's our first live broadcast back since March. So come out and see us at Cafe Kubal for the morning cast at Creek Walk Commons, 324 West Water Street in downtown Syracuse. We'll bring you through your morning there from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Coach and I will be having ourselves a nice discussion. And then that night, on the same day, I'm pulling double duty this Thursday. On Thursday, October 1st at 6:15 p.m., Wake Up Call returns to Trapper's Pizza Pub with ESM Athletics, and we will be broadcasting with the girls basketball team. Bob Harrington, the head coach, and a few members of the team are allowed to be there, and we will be enjoying that event together, all masked up and ready to go, and we'll be excited. I think when we sit down, when you're in a restaurant, if you stand up, you got to put your mask on. If you sit down, you can take it off. So when we're sitting down, we'll be able to take those off more than likely. Very excited about that. ESM returning to Trapper's Pizza Pub, courtesy of Wake Up Call on 5950 Butternut Drive in East Syracuse. Will be there Thursday, October 1st for a 6:15 p.m. start. And on Monday, October 5th at 6 p.m., West Genesee. For the first time since March when I was there with the boys lacrosse team, Wake Up Call will return the West Genesee Spotlight Show to the Wildcat Sports Pub on 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus, New York on Monday, October 5th, featuring Joe Corley and members of the West Genesee Wildcats football team, Monday, October 5th at 6 p.m., 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus, New York. I am ecstatic. I am beyond words that Wake Up Call is not only returning to our live broadcast by the grace of God, on site, on location, but we are returning with a double dose on Thursday, October 1st, then on October 5th, and then we have more surprises coming up after that. The month of October is going to be very, very good to us. So I believe in God, I believe in faith, I believe in positivity, and I believe that we can find a way and that we will. So stay positive, stay good, folks. Please be good to each other. Practice social distancing, do all the stuff that we have to do, and let's get through this thing together. Love each other. It doesn't matter what color, sexual orientation, religion, background, this, that, and whatever. We're all human beings, and we should all love each other. Just think about life like this. If you were God, or if you were anything, if you were an alien race that was looking down at the world right now, what would you want to see? How would you want to see us? And I can't imagine anybody wanting to see this place on fire or us not together. Take that bird's eye view. Because sometimes you need to get out of it to realize what's going on within it. And when you look down at this world, what do you see? And if you don't see something that you like, then let's change it for the positive. Be good to each other, be safe, be well. Thank you so much for being a part of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Right here, where sports meets life, on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, where you're listening, and on Facebook Live, facebook.com/livenowdt, where you're watching. We appreciate you here, always Monday through Friday, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and for our special engagement broadcasts like the live on-site ones, as well as our Syracuse football pre- and post-game shows. That we can also over 1,400 shows are available to you on all of these outlets and more. Search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on Stitcher, Spotify, MixLR, TuneIn, YouTube, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Podbean. You can also ask Alexa to play the latest episode of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and she'll do that for you as well. And make sure you go to YouTube to watch our videos and whatnot at youtube.com/WakeUpCallDT. Thank you to our proud partners, Cafe Cubal, Carvel DeWitt, Wildcat Sports Pub, Chick-fil-A, Cicero, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Avicoli's. Use the promo code online for 10% off online orders. That's myavicolis.com. Promo code AVS10. That's AVS10. Honda City of Liverpool, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. Go to maandpazpopcorn.com and use the online promo code DT20. That's DT20 for 20% off every order, whether you're picking it up in the store or having it shipped to your house. Go online to maandpazpopcorn.com and use the promo code DT20 for 20% off. Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Trapper's Pizza Pub, the Millhouse Market, and our beverage eye of choice, Coca-Cola, Body Armor, Monster Energy, and Reign. Thank you so much for everything that you do in our community and beyond. For everybody that's listening throughout the country and throughout the world, I appreciate you. For everybody listening in Central and Upstate New York, I thank you so much, and I love you for building up my hometown. So make sure we're building it up, never knocking it down. And to Cafe Cubal, our proud studio partner, go get the DT special today. I'm getting myself a cup of this, and you can go get yourself a cup as well of the DT special pumpkin spiced chai, available at all Cafe Cubal locations, as well as available for mobile pickup. I'll talk to you soon. Big shout out and a big thanks to Dave Kline and Alex Dodd once again. Have yourselves a fantastic day. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning, and we will be on site, on location, for the first time since March. Live broadcasting from multiple locations, beginning at the beginning of October, right on day 1 of October, October 1st. We'll see you out there, and we'll see you here on the airwaves, and we'll see you on video, and you'll hear us on our internet radio, and we'll see you soon in the community. God bless. No stress. Do your best. Talk to you soon.